Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I want to talk about what should designer always think. Then, shall we start with Mike Montero's article? Here are the 10 points that he summed for us. So what I'm going to do is drop them. Because I agree with his first point, designer is firstly a human, then a designer. I'm also a student, then a presenter. So as my will as a student, I know we don't want to look such a long list of points. So I want to make them simple and easy to understand. So here are the 3 points that I want to talk about, which are designers should always think about their works. Designers should always think about their clients. Designers should always think about themselves. Designers should never only consider the appearance of their work. The appearance mentioned here is not only reference to how it looks, but also including its directly meaning. As a designing outcome delivered to society, it becomes a part of society. The society will look at it from many different angles, which means even if the starting point is good, it still may be seen as a bad design. That's why designers should be extra careful about what they are going to send into this society. The current society will surely look at one project from its directly meaning, but then judge it deeply, try to find what's hiding behind it. But designers shouldn't limit people's freedom to think, to judge. Also, they cannot control what impact will their works bring to the society. So, before publishing a work, they should think hardly. Is this work going to bring positive impact to the world? And what would people think of it? Here, let's watch a video to see how people will wildly judge a design outcome.
If you've ever seen benches with unnecessary armrests, piles of rocks to break up flat surfaces in an architectural design, or just those random little nubbins along windows, stoops, or the sidewalk, those all exist to keep people from sleeping there, or even from just staying there for too long. If you've ever sat on a bench with all of those little random micro holes, those are there for the same reason, to make the bench colder so people don't rest there for too long. The problem with this kind of stuff is that rather than address any of the root causes of homelessness, the goal of this design is to address the fact that many people are uncomfortable with seeing homelessness. It's not concerned with why that makes us uncomfortable. It's not concerned over whether maybe we should be uncomfortable. Not with homeless people, but with homelessness itself. Unpleasant design devotes large amounts of money to allow us to go about our pleasant lives and blissfully ignore problems, allowing those in charge of solving those problems to simply sweep them under the rug, rather than confronting them, or actually trying to find a solution. It takes resources that could be used to actually address those issues, and spends them instead helping us put those issues out of mind. It's pretty unconscionable. There is a small ray of hope here, though, because when people are made aware of what those types of design are meant to do, they tend to rebel against it. Every time the populace actually realizes what's going on, there are all sorts of efforts made to render those unpleasant designs benign. From mattresses thrown over anti-homeless spikes, to people cutting the unnecessary arms off of those benches. Humanity as a whole tends to be better than the politicians who deploy these things.
So this video showed an unpleasant design that government used to hide homeless issue. This can call as a bad design, which such a negative designing goal. It says this bench was designed because people don't want to see homeless people. But as the video shows in the end, people are still raised against it and help homeless people. This is a positive effect from a negative design. If people can find a positive point from such a bad design, then how difficult can it be to find bad points from a good design? This also let designers know they should always keep in mind they have the responsibility to try their best to have their works provide good effect to the society. But just having responsibility for their works is not enough. They should also be ready for many kinds of criticism. After all, criticism means there's more room for improvement. Speaking of other people, designers are designing things for people, every kind of people. When designers are designing a product, they should consider the entire human group as their target client. This may sound pretty widely to identify what is entire human group. It actually depends on a product itself. If a designer is designing scissors, it should include both right-handed and left-handed person. And what about a person with hand disability? This situation suits with any kind of design product. Before designing a product, designers should think deeply who will be using this product, then actually put themselves into this user group. Ask every kind of person in this group from their point of view, think about this product. Again, I will show some very simple examples to show what happens if a product didn't consider every kind of user of it.
Wearing 3D glasses is an absolute disaster. Don't worry, mentally I'm fine. I just look like I'm not. And sunglasses, they're even worse, especially when you can't afford the expensive prescription ones. I told you I'm fine. Don't worry about this.
Designer's job is taking care of every kind of client. There are already some products start to think about this situation, like sports glasses to support nearsighted people to do those strong sports. And when people go to skydiving, there will be a protecting cover to keep their glasses on. Therefore, they can enjoy the same experience as any other people. Designers can swap people to enjoy life, even something they may have in trouble with, which means every edge case is a potential client group. That's why designers should never ignore any edge cases. But as following, think about the bench and the 3D glasses examples. How will the bench impact the cityscape and homeless issue? If people who got Pleasant can spend more money in a city, then homeless issue won't be an issue. Why is movie theaters giving away those free 3D glasses? Because it can attract more people. And most nearsighted people neither carry their own 3D glasses or they just be like in the video. From those examples, we can notice that some products are only designed as best for business. They don't consider every kind of situation. They only focus on the group that can make them make more money. Not only those, but some designs are meant to be unpleasant. Therefore, someone behind it can get a benefit. Let's see this annoying situation.
Dear YouTubers, please stop being lazy with mid-roll ads. Hello and welcome back to Capo TV, the channel where we know school is a joke, but you still have to do something. Chances are before this video, you saw a video ad that you most likely skipped. That's called a pre-roll ad, and everyone's familiar with those unless you're cheap and you're using an ad blocker. Now, if your video is longer than 10 minutes, then you can insert extra ads in the middle of your video. Can you guess what they're called?
Mid-roll ads!
And mid-roll ads are the topic of this video. How many times have you been watching something on YouTube, minding your own business, and then out of nowhere, right in the middle of a sentence, an ad starts? That is a YouTube creator who is extra lazy with their ads. And to show you how that works, I'm going to pass the mic to me upstairs. Thanks, downstairs me. Let me show you how this works in my YouTube dashboard using an actual video. Now here we are in the video tab of the YouTube dashboard, and we have to scroll down till we see one that's at least 10 minutes long, such as this one, A Day in the Life of Capo TV. Once we're on the video page, we go to the monetization tab, scroll down, and you'll notice this little blue line that we can drag back and forth. This allows us to insert ads wherever we want, and usually you'd want to do this in between sentences or at a designated ad break that you've pre-planned to have in the video. What lazy and inconsiderate YouTubers do though is they use this suggest placements button. Now this video isn't long enough to get multiple ads suggested in it, however you can see that YouTube chooses 2 minutes and 8 seconds for the ad. And my guess is that 2 minutes and 8 seconds is in the middle of a sentence. Let's find out. Well, not quite in the middle of a sentence, but it is in the middle of a camera move, and that is just as jarring. It breaks up the transition, it breaks up the audio, and it can totally take you out of the video that you may have been wanting to click off of anyway.
This kind of design is even betraying their clients. Just like the video said, this mid-roll advertising can set more advertising in one video. Therefore, the creator and YouTube can make more money by doing less thing. But for their audience, their watching experience will be greatly reduced. Now think about being a designer and let's be realistic. Designers are human, and humans need money. Design is a job, and a job that gets paid. A job that people doing to make a life. As long as designers are still human, there will always be competitions there. Designers should slow down and think about their original intention. Just like this mid-roll advertising situation, After it came out for a while, YouTube decided to no longer set this annoying thing as a default setting. It became a choice. Let's circle back to Montero's last sentence. Being a designer is an option. Human can't be perfect at every kind of situation, but human can choose to be better. Designers' choice are everything about design. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you.